This man sold coal to the town of Coal and made millions doing it. He couldn't read or write. They called him the dumbest man in America. Meet Lord Timothy Dexter. The story begins in a poor village in 1747. Timothy grew up poor and uneducated. At age 8, he dropped out of school forever. At 16, he became a tanner's apprentice. The work was boring and the money was almost zero, but Timothy had a plan: marry into wealth. In 1769, he married a wealthy widow named Elizabeth. Suddenly, the poor tanner had money, but the local elite still despised him. He spoke weirdly and wrote even weirder. The city's rich folks decided to play a prank on him. They advised him on a lucrative business deal: sell coal to Newcastle. They said, laughing, because Newcastle was the coal capital of England. It was like selling snow in Antarctica. Timothy, suspecting nothing, bought a whole ship of coal. The rich men rubbed their hands, anticipating failure. But while the ship was sailing, something incredible happened. A miners' strike broke out in Newcastle. Coal mining completely stopped. And then Timothy's ship loaded with coal arrives. The only coal in the entire city was his. He sold it all for the price of gold. The joke turned into a massive profit. The rich folks were furious but decided not to give up. The next brilliant idea: warming pans for the Caribbean, warming pans for heat on tropical islands. The logic: it's hot there, they definitely don't need warming pans. Timothy bought thousands of warming pans and set sail. Upon arrival, the locals used them differently. The lids became perfect ladles for molasses. Planters bought up all the warming pans instantly. Another failure turned into a fortune. His rivals were in despair. What next? The idea: ship stray cats to the tropics. Supposedly, cats were useless on the islands. Timothy loaded a ship with hundreds of cats. Meanwhile, the islands were infested with rats. Rats were devouring the entire sugar crop. And then arrives a ship full of cats. The cats dealt with the rats in just a few days. The planters were ready to carry him in their arms. Profit again, another failure for his rivals. Then the enemies offered one last wicked trick: sell Bibles to missionaries in the East Indies. After all, missionaries already had plenty of Bibles. Timothy bought thousands of Bibles and shipped them. But a sudden fire broke out at the port. The local Bible warehouse burned to the ground. And then Timothy's Bibles arrived just in time. He sold them for triple the price, no questions asked. 3 guaranteed failures. 3 fortunes in a row. Timothy became one of the richest men in America. But he didn't stop there. Oh no. Next he declared himself a lord. The title Lord he gave to himself. Nobody granted him this title, but who would dare argue with a millionaire? He built a massive mansion in Massachusetts. In the yard, he set up dozens of wooden statues. One statue depicted himself. The inscription on it read, "The greatest philosopher." Then Timothy decided to write a book. The book was called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones. In it, there was not a single comma or period, just a non-stop stream of words. Critics were horrified and utterly confused. In the second edition, Timothy fixed everything. He added a page consisting entirely of punctuation marks. "Distribute them as you like," he wrote. The book unexpectedly became a bestseller. It was republished 8 times during his lifetime. But the craziest trick was yet to come. Timothy decided to fake his own death. He wanted to see his own funeral. He organized a full funeral ceremony. He invited 3,000 guests and hired actors to cry. He watched all of this from a corner. One detail upset him greatly. His wife didn't look sad enough. Timothy jumped out and scolded her in front of everyone. The guests froze in complete shock from what they saw. He hit his wife with a cane right at the funeral. Then, as if nothing happened, he sat down to eat dinner. The funeral, by the way, cost a fortune. He didn't care. There was way too much money. Real death came to him in 1806. At 59, he died incredibly rich, without suffering a single loss in his life. Every mocking deal brought a profit. Economists are still studying his luck. Some believe it was just blind luck. Others are sure he was slyer than he seemed. Either way, the lesson is simple. Don't be afraid to take risks. Sometimes the dumbest idea makes you a legend.